Alright guys, it's February 18th, 2016. Trade setup right now. I'm under about 3 contracts on the oil. So we had a pretty uh, tight range today. Um, so about 50 to 60 ticks max. Um, we had pushed down earlier, and then we just completely took that high out of that range, and we broke out of market profile and came back in, and that's why I'm in the long right now at the top of this profile. So um, what we don't want to see is for this to come all the way back down into this area, right? So if buyers are really going to push this higher, this thing should take off relatively quickly and not stay within profile. So it may come down into the 60s, come back down into the 56 area where it initially launched up just a second ago, but it should hold. If not, right now it looks like it's coming back into profile, which is not a good sign, but it is what it is. We will tighten up our stops pretty quickly. So that's about a 12 tick stop right there. But right now this high here of this market profile should hold. So you got 59 at the lows on this particular candlestick right here, but that is a trade setup right now. So if I zoom out real quick, you can kind of visualize really quickly what happened. It's been kind of ranging. It's at the top of the range right now, and if there is this, I mean, what ideally would have been better is to see a much higher breakout. Didn't necessarily see that yet, but it did break out of these highs, hold it, and now came back down to retrace into this area. And now we are looking for this order flow to kind of push in the positive direction. So that'll help confirm it, but we'll see what happens. Thought I had that here earlier, and now it looks like it's kind of falling apart. So that's why we do have our stops. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out, but then we'll look for another trade after that. Alright guys, so I just want to show that with you real quickly. Let me go ahead and pause the video, and then if I get stopped out, we'll start again. If it does continue in that direction, we'll look for a move up, and I'll manage the trade as it goes. Alright, so I'll go ahead and pause the video. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I got in another contract as I saw the order flow kind of start turning positive. It's not as strong as I'd like to see it, but it did hold the support from earlier, from when it bounced. So that is where my stop is. I put one of my contracts up a little bit higher, and this area should hold if this thing really wants to take off. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so what we want to see is momentum. We want to see order flow. We want to see buyers come into the market here, and alright, so we just hit that high value area there, and see how far this thing has. But we really need to see buyers come in, so that order flow needs to stay positive. Right now it's red, and there's more sellers than buyers, so there is a possibility and chance that it could turn around until we see this thing really turn green and push up from here. So okay, move that drawing. They're fighting. We're seeing a lot more sellers right now. That's not good. Yep. There you go. Staying inside profile right now, so it's not a good sign. This thing could drop. It hits that stop area, which would be really where we're at right now. It comes all the way back down here. I mean, it could completely turn against us if this price range right here does not hold. So, and you can see there's a lot of sellers coming into the market right now. So what I might do is go ahead and scale out, because this isn't the kind of price action I want to see after a breakout. And looks like this resistance is holding, and there's a lot of sellers right here. So better to get out early. Now what could happen though, so because there's a lot of sellers right now, if this turns around and buyers are able to completely absorb this selling pressure, then we will see a huge move up, and it will happen pretty suddenly. But right now they're selling on all sides right now, so we really need this thing to break above the 68.72 and hold. Yep. Just not really liking this number here. Oh, it's so negative. The other markets are turning around too, and anything could happen. So let's see what happens. All right, 98. Still a lot of pressure on the sell side. 72. Could take some time. All right. Could turn around on itself, but I do not want to wait to see that, so go ahead and get out. Maybe if it wants to let me get out. There's a lot of selling. Best case scenario would be for this thing to turn around and turn positive, and you know, that negative pressure just completely blow off. And when that happens, it could just turn around, like I said, pretty quickly. But right now it's looking negative, and so this is the fight right now. We got the sellers and we got the buyers. We got the support and then we got the resistance, and both sides are holding on pretty strong. It's keeping within a pretty tight range right now. As a buyer, of course, myself, I'm getting a little bit nervous because this thing does not want to push up right away. And you're just seeing bigger and bigger sellers coming. Well, what's most important is what is going to happen after this number. Is it going to slide downwards, or is it going to turn around? Because if it's this red and this, you got a lot of buyers like this, right? And it gets completely absorbed and turns green, and buyers take this because the sellers, this is their last. This is a line in the sand for them. They don't want this thing to go any higher. But if buyers really push it up, this thing will move pretty quickly. So that's kind of what's going on right now, I think. And normally I wouldn't hold the video out like this. I mean, it's already a 10-11 minute video, but I kind of want you guys to be with me, go through the same mindset that you may be in when you're in a trade, and as I'm talking, think about what exactly your thoughts would be. What would you be doing at this point, and how do you manage that trade? Well, I already have a stop, so main thing is I'm protected. I already know what my risks are. I know exactly where my support is and where I could be wrong if it goes the wrong way. I've walked my way. I've talked through this selling that's going on right now, and said if it does turn around, there's a possibility that this thing could shoot up pretty high, and looks like it might happen. All right, so we're at the 72. You just need this thing to really push up beyond here, and then we could see this thing pop up pretty high. But while I'm still ahead, okay, all right, so you saw that. You see right here where it was a negative like 200-300, and buyers kind of completely absorbed it. So that's a good sign. Right now that means there is order flow now pushing upwards. All right, and it could be just a matter of seconds or minutes for this thing to really just push up higher from here. So the support is holding. Now we just need this resistance area to break as well, which we're not seeing either. All right, went up to 72, came back down. So what's going on? What's going on? Okay. Other markets, we are seeing resistance. It is at the high value areas on the other markets as well. So if we're all kind of at the same resistance, that could be a big reason why we're not seeing this thing push up any higher from here. So very nerve-wracking sometimes. And we're starting to see more sellers again. Anytime now, buyers. Or are we going to push? We're going to push it up, or we're going to just collapse here. That's the question. What is it going to do? What are we going to do? I'm a buyer, so I want you guys to push it up. Who's going to do it? Who is going to win this hand? So if sellers are right here, there will be some sell stops that will be run. You're seeing a lot of volume too, right here. Okay. All right, the other markets are pushing up, so if we're in a market that's in a lot of confluence, we should see this thing push up higher. There we go, 72, 73. Alright, there we go. Just needs to break up out of here. Alright, so we're good right now. Momentum is positive. Look at that 100. So we had a huge selling pressure. Now it's turned around. So let's see if the buyers can push it up even further from here. Move my stops up. So at this point, I really don't want to see this thing come back down. If it comes anywhere near that support level again, I mean, that's not a good sign. And this is the part of trading that you don't normally see if you're seeing a video after the fact, or if you're day trading yourself. You guys might know how this works, but a lot of times the trade doesn't go in your direction as fast as you want it to. But I'm holding on to the stop, hoping that it'll hold, because we are in the right direction. I mean, we are pushing up. So unless all of a sudden we see momentum to the downside. Alright, looks like there's a lot going on at 33.72. Something needs to resolve here sooner or later. We're already at 17 minutes into this video. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but if it does take off or I get stopped out, I'll go ahead and resume the video. So let me go ahead and manage a trade, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. The market is pushing up, so here we go. We're about 10 ticks into this move from where I got in. So now we just have to figure out where are we going to start scaling, right? Here's one good place, but I think this has got some legs, just because we did see all that selling, and could see this thing push up pretty high. So but what I would like to see is at least take out one for 10 contracts. I mean 10 tick move. That's 11 ticks right there. So it's 76, 3376 would be 10 ticks. So this hopefully this thing has some legs, so we'll see. We will see. Alright, so let me see.
Target filled.
Alright, so one contract off there. 8696. Alright. Let's see what we have. Let me move this up to break even. Let's go ahead and just pull this out real quick while I'm kind of letting that trade run. We are kind of at two peaks right now, right? So kind of at an inflection point. If this thing breaks above here, the question to ask is, where is the next area of resistance? This is a 30-minute chart right now. You got the 34, got the $34 range. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. But I could see this going up at least to 34.40. And the reason I see that, you see this thing kind of peaking. I mean, this kind of a shoot up, doesn't really mean anything. But you see how there was a lot of support in this area here every time it bounced into this 34.50, 34 area. So let me go ahead and draw something in there for you. Some support right there. Obviously, some resistance right there. Some resistance right there. I'm just kind of lining this up. I mean, these are pretty much zones here, but you can see that they're up in the $34 level. So the areas where I would like this thing to push up and really go higher. Now, like I always talk about in my other videos, if it reverses and it comes back the other way, I mean, it's just as probable that this thing could push down hard in the other direction as well. So you always have to anticipate that if it doesn't go in the direction that you're originally thinking the market's gonna go. Right now, technically, we are starting to look a little bit more flat, moving average wise. So the trend right now is flat, meaning it's just a range. So we could be at the top of the range here if this thing doesn't resolve any higher, and it could come back in within the range, right, before it really makes the decision to break out on either end. But we were able to make some ticks, and that's the main thing. But if this thing pushes up higher, great. That's why I got my stop there, and I have other contracts left on the table to see if this thing can really run and push up to the upside. So from here, we're looking for another 10 ticks from the 7.6, 8.6, another 10 ticks above that at the 9.6. Let's see what happens. A lot of buying though, a lot of buying. Let's see at the lows at the 67. All right, a lot of buying here at 30.37, 33.70, and now we're starting to see sellers come into the market again here with a little bit of imbalance. So I would say my stop's just about right. If it comes down to this level, I might get stopped out, but you know, buyers have initiated at these levels and cause this imbalance to push up. So shouldn't come back in too hard if this thing really does want to move up. So let me go ahead and repause the video again. This is a lot longer than I wanted to, but I'm hoping that you guys get a lot out of this. You're able to learn and sit there through the trading. I wouldn't say this is one of those videos you watch over and over again, but you know, I think there was some practical things that you guys could take from that, lessons learned, and hopefully it'll help out you in your trading. All right, now I'm starting to see these sellers, they're selling in balance right now, so this thing could get stopped out pretty quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video anyway, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, because other markets are pushing up, and this particular bar has not closed yet, so anything could happen. Okay, let me go ahead and pause the video, and we'll see what happens. All right, back again. Pushed above of the 33.76, which I took off one contract, and we got the 86 as our next target. Could go much higher than that, but we're just trying to scale and manage as we go. So that is the point there. And the other our markets are all also breaking out and pushing up higher, pushing past their previous highs. So all confluence in the markets is helping me manage this trade a little bit better. Obviously, like I said, the candlestick was not, or that the bar was not over, and you see it turned positive for a second at least. I'm getting up to these levels again. So I'll be a little conservative because I'm not seeing the momentum that I really want to see. I'm gonna go ahead and scale out again.
Target filled.
Okay. And then we'll also be scaling and moving our stops up as we go too. So 33.96 is the top high of the day, which is my next target. Everything's staying positive, so that's good. Alright, let me pause the video one more time. And if anything, I'll go ahead and close out the video. I mean, this isn't a live trade room. I just happened to be, I wanted to walk you guys through an actual trade. Any of you guys who've actually held through the video and watched it so far, I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully you're fast forwarding it. And basically, like everything that I've been talking about, kind of narrating as the trade goes, I'm telling myself, and that is my self-talk, typically when I'm trading. So, just to give you an idea of the psychology in that, and what we kind of go through. So, again, just kind of do a review real quick. See that had this little range here, right? Let's see. Kind of loosely do a range right there. Broke below it, right? Came back up into the bottom of that range, but did not push down, right? Instead, it pushed up, broke out of that range, and now our bias was to the upside, so we bought in the 60s, and we were looking to scale out. Right now, the momentum's not really pushing it as high and as fast as I would like it to go, but we locked in our 2 contracts of 10 ticks. And we're hoping for this thing to push up even higher. And once it breaks the highs of the day, it could potentially move up pretty quickly, because we are at the top of this range right here of previous resistance areas. and that's probably why we're seeing some hesitation. But if we can push through here, there could be a lot more upside on this trade. So main thing is break out a profile and retest and buy. And you can see the support that I was holding worked out in our favor. It's a little hard sometimes when it takes a lot longer than you expect for a move to happen, but the main thing is you always manage your risk. You have a stop in place, you respect it, and then you let the market do what it needs to do. And the trade setups in this case, if I would have sold here and then or sold after this breakout to the downside and got stopped out, it got stopped out. But then you look for the next trade setup, which would have been either a breakdown again, right, of the lows, or a breakout to the upside, right? So right now we're looking at this thing to trend up, but it could turn back around and go the opposite way as well. So just something to think about. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this video out. I mean, if it goes up, great, and I wish I could have captured that, and that's why I've been keeping this video on, so I can capture some nice moves and you guys could see how wonderful it is to make money in the market, and how easy it seems and everything like that. But as you can see in this video, this is a 30-minute video right now. This is not easy, and it's been a very pain to manage. I wish I was actually trading the rest of the markets, because the rest of the markets are moving up pretty nicely, whereas crude oil today is being a little bit slow. So, but we focus on one market, we become an expert in it, we have a trade set up and execute consistently, and you can make money consistently. So but this thing is going to go up and I am going to make money, so no need to continue looking at this video, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. And I apologize for the long video this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you guys are watching this, and hope you guys learned something, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.